Hi there, I'm Erin with Five Parks Yoga. I'm so glad you're here for today's Land Animal Flow, the first in our three-part series inspired by animal and insect poses. This class is all about stability, strength, and balance, drawing inspiration from land animals that are grounded, powerful, and agile. We'll move through poses inspired by bears, tigers, deer, and even leaping frogs, creating a practice that builds endurance while keeping you connected to the earth. As we flow, I invite you to root down, rise strong, use your breath as an anchor for each movement. I'd like to say a big thank you to all of my YouTube members and Patreon supporters. Your support keeps these free classes coming, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you'd like to help out and join the crew, head to fiveparksyoga.com/support. If you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a comment. We'd love to hear how this class feels for you. It's awesome to see our Five Parks Yoga community interacting even with one another online by making comments and getting involved in conversations. It's really powerful for our yoga community. So join in, be a part of it. I'd love to hear from you guys. So let's begin by settling into a comfortable seated position. Before we begin with our breath work and our movement, I want us to take a moment and connect to stillness and silence. So find your seat, find a nice upright spine. Make sure that you're in a comfortable position. We're going to move into Dirgha Pranayama, which is a three-part breath. So before we begin, go ahead and close your eyes. Feel your sitting bones on the floor. Feel the lift of your spine as you engage down through your root block, pulling up and in on the pelvic floor. Then engage the low abdominal muscles, pulling your belly button back towards your spine. This is your moving up the spine. Engage slightly through the core, drawing your belly button back towards your spine for Uddiyana Bandha, your stomach lock. And then continue to lift through the crown of your head. Feel like it's lifting so high it could touch the ceiling. And then alternatively, but gently, relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Slightly draw your chin back so that your entire neck and head is in line with your spine. It's called your chin lock or Jalandhara Bandha. So nice and connected and firm through the body, from the base to the crown, from the root to the top. Just finding your natural rhythm of breath as you hold this posture, turning inward. And just begin to imagine the strength of a tree. The strength lies in its roots, not in its branches. So when the wind blows, the branches may sway, but the roots remain firm. So just like in life, find your roots, your breath, your inner peace, your foundation, and let them keep you steady through any storm. So really connecting to those elements in this moment of stillness. And we're going to begin to cultivate Dirgha Pranayama, which is three-part yogic breathing. So you can keep your eyes closed. If you need a visual, you can open your eyes. You're going to begin by pulling your breath into your belly. So as you breathe deep down into your belly's going to expand like a balloon. So you kind of just let your belly out. Now lift through your midsection. So feel your ribs expand and lift as you continue to inhale. And then notice your chest and begin to lift through your sternum. And then notice the crown of your head, lifting. Now, as you exhale, I'm just teaching this to you so you can continue. I hope you're not holding your breath. As you exhale, you're going to release chest, ribs, belly. You're going to drop back in and down. So we're really focusing on the full breath. So I'm going to guide you through a couple of rounds of Dirgha Pranayama. So breathe in, expand belly, ribs, chest, lungs, lift. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. You should feel this lift and release in your spine. Belly in, ribs full, lungs full, heart lifted, heart relaxes, ribs relax, belly relaxes. One more. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Sometimes it helps to put your hands on your body because you can physically feel this. So just bringing full awareness to the depth, the quality, the length of your breath. So continue with deep breathing, and we're going to bring some movement here. So go ahead and open your eyes if they're not already. We're just going to warm up the spine in all directions. So breathe in, bring your arms up overhead. Breathe out and bring your left arm to the left for a side bend. Right arm reaches up and across. You can look up toward the ceiling. Big breath in, lift, lift, lift back to center, and then side bend in the opposite direction. Placing your hand on the floor, reaching up and across with your opposite arm. Okay, come back up to center. Take it into a twist. Take your right hand to your left knee, your left hand out behind you. Now find that same length in your spine. So you're not leaning forward, back, curling down. You've got that lift. So can you breathe in this twist? Belly, fill it. Lungs, fill it. Chest, fill it. And then release. And as you release, really actively draw your belly button back toward your spine. Okay, come back to center. And then switch sides. Same thing, stay lifted, practice your 3-part breath here. So fill belly, ribs, lungs, lift through the crown of your head. Look a little bit deeper, farther. Come back to center, lift your arms up. Let's take it into a chest expansion, hands behind your back. Press your fists down, expand your chest, lift your chin. And then hinging from the hips, come forward. Maybe your hands lift just barely off the base of your spine, maybe all the way up and over. You can bring your forehead in the direction of the ground if that's accessible to you. All right, make your way all the way back up. Release your hands. And then let's make our way to a tabletop position to continue to warm up the spine and work with the breath. Find yourself in tabletop pose. So bring your wrists right underneath your shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips. So once again, like pull in at the belly button, nice and firm through the core. So let's rock the spine with cats and cows. Some really great and familiar animals. Breathe in, cow pose, breathe out, cat. Breathe in, cow. Now I don't know why this is called cow, because it doesn't look like a cow. But cat, this is pretty obvious. Imagine your classic Halloween cat, all curled and rounded. Okay, one more, cow and cat. And let's come back to tabletop. So we're going to engage the core in bear pose. So tuck all 10 toes under, and then you're just going to lift your knees up off of your mat to hover. Okay, so notice your core. Make sure that you're holding your knees right underneath your hips. So it's a 90-degree angle from the side with your entire body. Keep holding and keep breathing. Maybe you feel a little like shaky, maybe in your core, maybe in your arms. This takes a ton of strength. So really connect with the strength and the power of a bear. And we're going to take one more breath here. And release back to tabletop. All right, that's bear pose. Take your feet flat to the floor and extend into spinal balance. Take your right arm forward and your left leg back. Okay, lift your thumb, lift your toes, lift, 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 look forward. Now exhale, round and curl, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend spinal balance. Now pause here, take your right hand to the floor, and we're gonna do tiger pose. So bend your left leg, start to arch like you're doing cow pose. So you're bringing your toes in the direction of the back of your head. So you're looking up, lifting up Lift that leg a little bit higher so your hamstring should be really working hard to lift into tiger pose. Now we're gonna move from tiger, round and curl. Tiger, so you're gonna keep your leg bent the whole time. Round and curl. One more time. Round and curl. And let's just come back to tabletop position. Moving to spinal balance on the other side. Extend your left arm forward, right leg back. Nice and strong through the core. Nice engagement here as you lift your left thumb higher. Lift your toes higher. Maybe start to look up. And then one time, curl and round. Come back to spinal balance. Pause. Place your left hand on the floor for tiger pose. Bend your right leg. Start to lift through your head as you reach your toes toward the back of your head. Okay, coming from tiger, curl and round. Tiger, curl and round. Tiger, curl and round. And then come back to tabletop position. Let's return to bear. Come back to bear, hovering. Now, without moving your pelvis as much as you can, you're gonna tap your right knee to the floor. Keep your left hip where it is. Come back to neutral. Tap your left knee to the floor, but keep your right hip where it is. Come back to neutral, then tap, tap, keep going. Now you're not rocking your pelvis. Your pelvis is staying neutral. So it's a subtle movement that takes a ton of strength and stability. Okay, I think we're done with bear pose. Hopefully you feel nice and warm. So come back to tabletop and then keep your toes tucked and make your way to down dog. So we've arrived in our first downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, move around, feel into it. Hopefully for you, this is like a home base pose. It feels familiar. You know what your body needs when you arrive here. So listen to your body. What does it say it needs? And do that. That's why I love yoga, because you really get to tap in and notice what's going on and what needs attention in our comfy, familiar, downward facing dog. All right, from here, lift your right leg up, open your hip, bend your leg. We're gonna stretch out the quadricep, roll your ankle. Try to keep your shoulders squared in this position. So right shoulder in line with left, so you're not hiking your shoulder up, keeping it in line. All right, similar to what we did with tiger pose, we're gonna go from here, open hip, curl and round. So you're gonna level your hips, curl, 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 lift your left heel up off the floor. See if you can look past your hands, tap your knee to your nose. Up and back, open up, curl and round. Open, curl and round. Now this time, straight back to three-legged dog. Keep your hips in line with one another. Curl and round, and this time, low lunge. Set your foot between your hands. Release your back knee down to the floor. Lift your arms up for crescent moon. Let's take an arrow mudra with crescent moon. So interlace your fingers, release your index fingers. Squeeze your biceps by your ears. Now look up, maybe lean back. Look back or up. Now you're gonna come forward, we're gonna come into a flying half splits pose. So you're gonna sweep your arms down and back as you straighten through your front leg. Now I recommend in this variation, because this is very active, flex your feet back, your foot back, toes reaching toward your knees, and lean in, get that hamstring stretch. All right, you ready to flow? We're gonna do crescent moon, come forward, release down, half splits, flying half splits, crescent moon, half splits. Okay, now try this on. Crescent moon, keep your toes tucked, lift your knee, crescent lunge. So rise up into crescent lunge, takes a lot of power from the ground, from your base up. So find that power in your feet, that stability in your legs. Take a breath in. Exhale. Now we're going to come to airplane lunge. So same thing we did in half splits. You're going to hinge forward, reach back. Lift up, crescent lunge. Hinge forward, reach back. Crescent lunge. And low lunge. So place your hands on the floor. Step your left foot to meet your right. Keep your legs bent and come into Utkatasana. So chair pose. Hips low, arms high. Sit back. Now look down. Can you wiggle your toes? You should have so much weight in your heels and in your seat that you can wiggle your toes. All right, let's do it again. Chair to airplane chair 3 times. Chair, reach back. Airplane chair, it's all about your triceps. Chair, the backs of your arms. Airplane chair, squeeze chair. Airplane chair, maybe put the balance there. Balance chair, lift your heels. Ooh. Okay, and release. Chair, tall mountain. Rise up, reach up, lift, look up, and then cactus your arms. Inhale, tall mountain. Bring your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra. Close your eyes. If you feel steady, if you don't, find a steady place to gaze. Neither is better or worse. You just listen. And then your real objective here is just to tap in to your breath, your body, your arrival here in mountain pose. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, release your arms down by your side, Tadasana. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, standing forward fold. Uttanasana, hinge from your hips, come all the way down. Halfway lift. And ragdoll. So go ahead and bend your legs, rest your torso on your thighs, take opposite hand to opposite elbow. Dangle here. All right, let's get moving again. Release your hands, halfway lift, monkey pose. Ardha Hanumanasana. Extend the crown of your head forward and then press your tailbone back. Actively press back. Engage your thighs. Imagine that you had a block between your legs and they could spin back. You could spin that block back with your legs. Take one more breath in. Exhale, standing forward fold. Plant your hands on the floor, step back, high plank pose. We're gonna move immediately out of high plank down onto the floor. So shift forward, chaturanga arms, lower, slow, 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 slow. Okay, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Plant your feet firmly on the floor, press gently into your hands, lift your chest up. So really actively lift through the crown of your head, utilizing the strength along your spine to lift you into this back bend. Maybe look up. Now, if you want to come into high cobra from here, just press up to straight arms. It's just an option. Move your hands back a little bit so they're underneath your shoulders. And then roll your shoulders down and back so you can open up your chest. High cobra. Take one more breath wherever you are, and then lower all the way down. Okay, return to high plank or tabletop. And back to downward facing dog. All right, let's take those warm-up flows on the other side, just opening up really through the hips and the legs. Lift your left leg up and open your hip, bend your leg. Take some circles here, in one direction, in the other direction. I even like to straighten and bend my leg here as an option, because your hips are open, so it just feels good to stretch into them. All right, curl and round. So level out your hips, maybe lift up your right heel, curl through your spine, look past your hands, knee to nose. Okay, lift, three-legged dog, open hip, curl and round. One more time, open hip, curl and round. Now this time, straight back, three-legged dog. Keep your hips level. Curl and round again to low lunge. Set your foot between your hands. Lower your back knee to the floor for crescent moon. Lift your arms up overhead. Let's find arrow mudra. So interlace your fingers, release your index fingers. This time, put your opposite thumb on top. Okay, lift up, look at arrow mudra. So look up at your fingertips and then draw a line on the ceiling, maybe looking back. Okay, flying half splits. Straighten through your left leg. Maybe draw your toes back toward your knee. Get a nice stretch into that left hamstring. Now don't forget about the backs of your arms. Okay, your triceps. All right, let's flow. Crescent moon, half splits. Crescent moon, half splits. Crescent moon, crescent lunge. Lift your back knee up off the floor. Okay, it takes a lot of power in that back leg. So stay low. Inhale here. We're gonna move to airplane lunge. So same thing, flowing. So shift forward, reach back, airplane lunge, crescent lunge, airplane lunge, crescent lunge, airplane lunge, chair pose. Step your right foot to meet your left, airplane chair. Chair, maybe this time balance chair. Chair, balance chair, tall mountain, Tadasana. Exhale, cactus your arms, open up your chest, press your hips forward. Tall mountain, standing forward fold. Hinge from your hips, come all the way down. Ardha Hanumanasana, halfway lift, monkey pose, standing forward fold. Step back, high plank. This time lower chaturanga, if it's in your practice. Halfway down, pause here, nice strong arms. Come to the tops of your feet, press up, upward facing dog. And then return to home base, downward dog. Let's flow breath to movement in sun salutation A. So look forward, come forward on your breath in. Standing forward fold. Tall mountain. Forward fold. Halfway lift, high to low plank. Up dog. Down dog. Breath in. Open mouth exhale. Continue on. Come to the front of your mat. Standing forward fold. Tall mountain. Standing forward fold. Connect your breath to your body. Halfway lift. High to low plank. Move with intention. Move with strength and stability. Take a breath in and out. And again, come forward. Standing forward fold. Tall mountain. Standing forward fold. Halfway lift, high to low plank. Make your way back to down dog. Sun A's are an important part of the practice, kind of building heat in our body, building awareness of our breath. The repetition is good for our brains. If you've done a lot of yoga, hopefully those feel familiar and you can just fall into the rhythm of them. All right, moving on. Lift your right leg high. Come into lizard lunge. So you're gonna bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Set your back knee on the floor. Then reach your right arm up and around. Take hold of your left foot if it's accessible. If not, stay here or just reach. Okay, if you'd like to, roll onto the outer edge of your right foot, just getting some opening in your right inner thigh. All right, come back to wide-legged low lunge, lizard lunge, and then step back to high plank. And here in high plank, we're gonna take 10 knee taps. So stay steady in your high plank, tap right, left, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, high plank, down dog. We're just keeping that heat in the body, strength and stability in the legs. Lift your left leg up, step outside of your left hand for lizard lunge. Place your back knee on the floor, and then maybe roll your left knee open, coming onto the outer edge of your left foot. Reach your left hand back for your right foot. If it's accessible, take hold of it with your left hand, and just increasing in that quad stretch with the help of your left arm. Inner thigh stretch by rolling to the outside of the left foot. And then return. Come back up off of your back knee, step back high plank. This time chaturanga. We're going back to down dog. You can skip your chaturanga if you want. One breath in and out. Okay, lift your right leg up and step forward to low lunge. Rise up to crescent lunge. We're moving into warrior 2. Plant your back heel on the floor, open up to the side, roll your shoulders up and down. Shoulder blades down, away, drawing in toward your spine, open chest, open hips, steady, soft gaze. On your breath in, lean back to reverse warrior. And as you exhale, come into side angle pose, bringing your right hand toward the floor. Reach your left arm up and across, so opening through your side. Okay, so this is gonna be a big movement from side angle with your arm extended to star. So keep really strong and straight in that left arm and your core. As you come up to star pose, open up, and then bring your hands to your heart for horse. So settle into horse, nice and low in your hips. Draw your knees back toward your pinky toes so you can feel your glutes, the backs of your legs firing up. Hands are at heart center. Now, bring your arms into goddess, 90-degree angle, palms face in. Nice, strong, steady stance here. We're gonna do some core work, so we're gonna do some elbow taps. So tap right elbow to knee. Now left. Now we're just gonna do 2 more rounds. So right, left, right, left. Now come back to goddess, rise up to star, return to warrior 2, face the front of your mat. Inhale, reverse warrior, come down to low lunge, and step back, high to low plank, back to down dog. Lift your left leg up, step forward, low lunge. Crescent lunge, lift up, and then open to warrior 2. Plant your heel down, really open up to the side. Find your alignment here. Hips are open, shoulders open. Shoulder blades are drawing back toward your spine. Gaze is steady out across your front fingertips. Reverse warrior, flip your hand, lean back, open up through the left side in preparation for side angle. Bring your left hand to the floor, block, elbow to knee. Reach up and across with your right arm. So you're truly extending long through your right side. Okay, with power, stability in your feet, star. So press up, 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 up. You're not swinging your arms into star. You're using your core. Horse stance, bring your hands to your heart, sink down. Now, we're gonna practice a mudra called Ganesh mudra. Ganesh is the figure of the elephant god, and this elephant god is the remover of obstacles. So you're gonna take your left palm, you're gonna face it out in front of your heart, take your right hand in, so your palms are facing, clasp your hands. Okay, now, you're already burning those legs, you're getting all your work in here. Let's add the arms. So I want you to picture an obstacle in your mind, something you have to overcome that feels insurmountable. Feel that obstacle, picture it. Now pull your elbows away from each other. As you activate your arms, imagine that you're gonna break the chain of your hands. You're pulling strong, pulling strong. Okay, now relax your arms, straighten your legs. Okay, sink down, pull out, relax. And again, pull, pull, pull. Release to goddess and star. Return to warrior two. Okay, we're making our way back to downward facing dog. Stretch back to reverse, low lunge, high to low to down dog. In downward facing dog, take a big inhale, fill all the way up, and then a cleansing, grounding, stabilizing exhale through your mouth. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Tap, squeeze, three-legged dog. And again, tap, squeeze, three-legged dog. Now, if you'd like to take the arm balance, go ahead and come forward. Either way, if you're not taking it, hold here. If you're taking the arm balance, just draw your elbows in and fly here. And then let's return, three-legged dog. Knee to nose, step forward, low lunge. We're gonna do a grounded twist here. So keep your left hand on the floor, reach your right arm up. We're gonna move from this grounded twist to revolved crescent lunge. So let your right arm lead the way as you lift up, shoulders over hips. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your inner thighs together as if they were touching. This will deepen your twist as you reach those right fingertips back. Okay, right arm is gonna come down and around, left arm is gonna come up and over. Warrior two, spin it open. Star, open up, horse, sit down. Bring your hands to your knees, inhale here. Exhale, left shoulder in, twist, and look to the right. Really dip deep into your low back here. Come back to center, exhale, twist. From the base of your spine to the crown of your head, opening up your inner thighs at the same time. Come back to center, bring your shoulders over your hips, horse stance. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Low lunge to grounded twist. So plant your hand, lift your heel, come back to grounded twist. And then your exhale is gonna be skandasana. So you're gonna spin your right arm down and around, spin to the right, and come into that low squat on your right leg. Okay, hands can be on the floor or at heart center. Find your stability here. Now you're gonna shift to a lunge on your left leg. So skandasana to the left. Return to low lunge at the front of your mat. And this time lounging lizard, reach your right arm back as you spin around, sink down, look back. Now we're gonna do 3 rainbow lifts. So bring your right arm up and over as you lift your hips and release. And again, lift and release. And again, lift and release. Last time, up and over. This time, plant your right hand down on the floor. Step your right foot back to high plank. Lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog, back to downward facing dog. Grounding breath here, breathe in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Let's do the other side. Left leg high, step forward. Low lunge, grounded twist. Right hand stays on the floor. Lift your left arm up. Look up toward your fingers for now. Now, if you'd like to look down at the floor for stability, big, challenging transition, revolved lunge. So bring your left arm back, right arm forward. You're bringing your torso all the way upright over your hips. So big move. Takes a lot of strength, stability. Give yourself some grace and take some time. Be patient. Now you're going to spin left arm down. We're coming into warrior two. Right arm up and over. Plant your heel down. Open up. Warrior two. Rise up, star. Horse. Bring your hands to your heart. Sink down. Back to goddess. Okay, we're going to do a variation on those side bends. We're going to add the arms to it. So you're going to bring, I'm going to show you, talk you through it. Right elbow, right knee, and then extend your right fingertips toward your left knee. So your arm is across your body, left arm up and across. See this like kind of X? You're making a lot going on here, okay? You're going to come back through goddess and then switch sides. So reach your left hand toward your right knee, your right hand toward the left, and back to goddess. Okay, you've got this. Let's flow. So right hand, left knee, goddess, switch, goddess, switch, goddess, hold, star, warrior two, reverse warrior, okay? Remember the switch here. So right hand to the floor, twisting lunge. Lift your heel, left arm circles up, look up towards your fingertips, and then circle that arm down and around as you slide into Skandasana on your left side. Hold here, hands at heart or on the floor. Just enjoy this side lunge. A little balance. Okay, now lunge to the back with or without your hands on the floor. Enjoy this side lunge. I enjoy all side lunges. Okay, from this side lunge, we're gonna come to low lunge, facing the front of our mat to lounging lizard. So right outer edge of your foot comes to the floor. You spin your left toes open and reach your left arm back. Okay, 3 rainbows. So reach up and release. Up, release. Up, over, spin around, high to low plank. Okay, and our arm balance on the left is coming after that series. I know probably some of you already did it because you know I forgot it. So let's do it. Left leg up, you get three tries here. Knee to left elbow, tap. Imagine yourself flying. Extend, tap. One more time. Ekapada Kundaniyasana might be in your future. Hold, 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 or fly. Coming down onto your elbows and extending your legs long, lifting your feet off the floor, and then return to downward facing dog. Look toward your hands, step, walk, or float. Malasana. Wide squat. Bring your elbows toward your knees, hands to your heart. Okay, settle into Malasana for active rest. So stay active by pressing your elbows into your knees and just drawing your tailbone down toward the floor and the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. But slow your breath, maybe close your eyes. Even if it doesn't feel relaxing per se, just find some stillness and some steadiness here. Okay, we're gonna do three lifts and lowers. So lift up to the height of your knees. This is really good for hip strength. Lower down, squat. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Okay, we're setting the scene for two things. First, for endurance, a little bit of cardio, we're gonna do froggy hops. Second, we're gonna do Bakasana crow pose. You can combine froggy with crow if that's in your practice, not mine, but I could tell you about it. Otherwise, just play around and try it out, all right? So first, let's do those froggy jumps. So place your hands on the floor. You're gonna bring your feet a little bit closer in so you're in just a little bit of a less wide squat, a more narrow, that's the word, narrow squat. Place your hands on the floor and imagine that you're just a little leaping frog. So you can picture a frog leaping. You're gonna place all the weight in your hands, lift and lower. So see if you can float and land with grace. If you can't, that's all right. It's not easy. When else are you gonna practice this or try this in your adult life? Okay, let's do a couple more. Maybe pick up the pace if you want a little more cardio sensation. Okay, 3 more, I'm gonna pause. If you can do froggy jump into crow, see if you can land in a crow. I can't do that yet, so I can't show you, but maybe you can. For the rest of us who can't, let's do crow pose. So return to your little squat, hands underneath your shoulders, lift your knees as high up on the backs of your arms, look forward, tilt forward, and then maybe lift your toes up off the floor. Okay, so you can picture a big black crow sitting on a wire, sitting on the edge of a building, looking down, perched, strong, stable, still, noticing, but ready to go at any second. 3, 2, 1, we're returning to Malasana. We're gonna take a twist, bring your right hand to the floor, lift your left arm up, twist to the opposite side, left hand to the floor, reach your right arm up. Malasana. Now, we're gonna do a jump back from Malasana. If you wanna go back to crow and do crow jump back, maybe you already did it, go for it. Otherwise, place your hands on the floor. You're gonna jump back to plank. No, you're gonna jump back to chaturanga. You're gonna land with bent arms, not straight arms. You're not landing in plank. So practice it. It's a great place to practice your jump backs. So jump back, land, bent arms. Maybe try it 1, 2, 3 times. Maybe it's a someday thing. Maybe it's a right now thing. And let's meet in downward facing dog. Big breath in and out. Lift your right leg high, step forward, low lunge. Okay, we're gonna stay active in this section of class. Come up to crescent lunge. This is gonna take strength, stability, conditioning. Imagine a cheetah, ready to go, super fast, but stable and focused the whole time. So we're gonna move from crescent to airplane, warrior 3. So arms extended out in front of you. Now, if you prefer airplane, you can reach your arms back. That's one variation. This gives a little bit more of upper body challenge here. Now return from airplane to lunge. Now you launch with power, but stability and grace. Warrior 3, crescent lunge. Warrior 3, crescent lunge. I did not say this is easy. Let's do one more. Warrior 3. And crescent lunge. All right, that was about the least stable thing, but it's practice, so you keep on trying. Okay, warrior 2, open up. Reverse warrior. This is your opportunity to balance in half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. So if you want, balance into half moon. If you'd prefer to keep your feet on the ground, come into side angle. We've been here before. Side angle, half moon for 3, 2, 1. Now place your left hand on the floor, level out your hips. So you're in standing splits pose. Now bring your forehead towards your knee, lift your left heel a little bit higher, your hips are level and square. 3 jiva squats, sink down, extend, sink, extend. Last one. Standing splits, low lunge, high to low plank, and make your way back to downward facing dog. Let's act like a cheetah on the other side. Left leg, high, low lunge. I fear this side might be even more challenging. Maybe this is your easier side. Come up to crescent lunge. Whew. We're going crescent to warrior three. We're gonna hold this first one. Find the pose. Nice and strong, stable through the whole back line of your body. If your arms are in airplane, same thing. You wanna engage those triceps. Okay, shoulders more in the extended variation. All right, let's flow. Okay, crescent, take it slow and try to stick the landing. Find the pose, crescent lunge. Maybe you can do it a little bit faster. This is not cheetah pace that I'm going at. Let's do one more. Crescent, warrior three. Crescent, okay, that was rough. Crescent, warrior two. That's why we practice. Maybe that'll get easier if I keep trying that, okay? Inhale, reverse warrior. Balance, Ardha Chandrasana. Half moon pose, step onto your left foot. Stack your hips, right hip on top of left. Stack your shoulders, right shoulder on top of left. Remember, if you want to keep your feet on the ground, side angle pose. All right, now we're moving from half moon to standing splits. So now you're gonna level your shoulders, level your hips. It's a big movement in your body to change that position from open to closed hips and standing splits. Bring your forehead towards your shin. Bring your right heel higher. 3 Jiva squats. 1, 2, 3. Standing splits. Low lunge, step back, high to low plank. Up to down dog. All right, now let's take real rest in Balasana, child's pose. Bring your knees wide, toes to touch. Hips to heels, walk your hands forward. Now we're gonna take a variation of Balasana with the ear to the floor. Okay, so you wanna take your left ear to the floor. Rest it down, a little gentle twist in the neck. And then just kind of visualize you're on, not a yoga mat, but outside on the ground. You're connected with the earth, listening to the wisdom that rest and stillness has to offer you. Switch sides, bring your right ear to your mat. You're listening. Listen to your body. What is your body saying? Are you in it? Are you here in this moment? Don't wander off to the rest of your day because you get this beautiful moment of resting in child's pose. Now bring your forehead to your mat for 1 breath. Walk your hands to your knees and press up to kneeling. We're gonna come into Ustrasana, camel pose. A great land mammal, the camel. All right, so the camel, the visualization comes from the hump in a camel's back. So in camel pose, you wanna have that lift that we've been practicing throughout class so you can feel your belly, ribs, chest, all that lift, a slight press of your hips forward, a lift of your chin. Now you can have your hands at your low back, pressing your hips forward, drawing your elbows back, lifting back, or you can reach for your heels. I like to tuck my toes under so my heels are a little bit more accessible because I like to be able to hold on to my heels. It's just an option. Just telling you what I like. Now press your hips forward, look back. Okay, so hold camel pose for another 3 breaths. The breaths are gonna be a little more shallow as your chest is open. So again, picture your chest like lifting and opening and expanding even with a little bit of air getting in there. 1 more breath. Okay, come all the way up. And then sit your hips to your heels. Come down, place your hands on your thighs and close your eyes. All right, we're going to connect with the lion, with lion's breath. I don't know if you've ever practiced it in yoga, but it's a powerful thing. You can practice it any time of the day. It's a real huge tension release. So it looks like this, and we'll practice it together. So you take a deep breath in, you loosen up your jaw, just relax your jaw. Take a deep breath in, you're gonna relax your jaw, stick out your tongue. So your jaw is really wide, your tongue is really pushed forward, and then in full lion's breath, you bring your eyes to center, looking toward the third eye, so your eyes are up and crossed. Okay, so lion's breath. So take a deep breath in. It's a good one. You can practice that around the house when you're starting to feel tension or stress. Just be a lion, be a lion. All right, let's come into downward facing dog in preparation for a couple of more deep stretch poses. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Lift your right leg high and step your right foot to the outside of your left hand. We're coming into fallen triangle here. So set your foot down on the floor, release your back heel to your mat, lift your left arm up, look up. Now press your hips up. All right, we're gonna do a transition from fallen triangle to starfish side plank. So listen to the cues, follow along. Bring your left hand to the floor. You're gonna reach your right arm up, bring your right leg up, press it back, okay? And make yourself look like a star in side plank. So you know how we do star with our feet on the floor? Star, here, starfish. Starfish side plank, high plank, chaturanga, lower halfway down. Upward dog, downward dog. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So lift your left leg up. Left foot to the outside of your right hand for fallen triangle. Lower your back heel. Lift your right arm up. These are our last big power poses. So press your hips up. Feel your side working, your oblique muscles. Now, starfish side plank. Bring your right hand to the floor. If you can, try it out. Spin it around. Essentially, we're going into side plank on our right hand. If you want to try the starfish variation, spread your fingers wide, lift your arm up, lift your foot up, spread your toes nice and wide. Look like a starfish from the side. Okay, starfish, high plank, maybe ekapada chaturanga, low plank, dog and down dog. Okay. Again, take your right leg up to fallen triangle. Right foot to the outside of your left hand. Now pause here. From here, we're gonna come into pigeon pose. So we're gonna do a really active pigeon here, so follow along with the steps. We're gonna bring our shin as close to parallel with the front of our mat. For now, keep your back toes tucked under. Press your hands onto the floor or onto your shin, press up. So use your arms to get that nice press up. These right toes are flexed back. Now, two more options, follow along. Lift your arms up. This takes a lot of strength in the back body. Now we're gonna move from here into a shoulder opener. Take your hands behind your back for yoga mudra. Press your fists towards your heel. So really imagine someone's pulling your hands back. So lifting up. Okay, now from here, if it's accessible to you, bend your left leg, take your left hand, reach for your foot, draw your foot in, and hold here. Nice little quad stretch. Okay, like I said, we're taking a pretty active pigeon pose in prep for our sleeping pigeon. So go ahead and release your leg if you have a hold of it, and then come down onto the pillow of your hands, rest your forehead down.
You can release your toe tuck and hold here in sleeping pigeon. Soft, gentle surrender. We're going to keep working with this hip stretch and move into deer pose. So, goodbye, pigeon, hello, deer. So come back up onto your hands and keep your shin where it is. So again, if it's kind of come in, try to get it as parallel to the front of your mat as you can. This just takes time with hip opening. Now you're going to bring your left knee toward your right heel and see if you can get your shin, your left shin, parallel to the side of your mat. So it feels pretty awkward here in this left hip flexor. That's what you're supposed to be feeling. So deer pose, really, really intense pose. So you can stay here upright like I am with shoulders over hips. Lots of options. You can twist. You want to keep your sitting bones grounded. So if you twist, you're not doing this, okay? Keep that shin right where it is. You can come forward like you did in sleeping pigeon. I can stay upright. So imagine a deer, tap into the qualities of the deer. So the deer, it walks lightly, it's soft and gentle and alert, and it listens and it watches, and it's ready for action at any point. So you're active, but in a relaxed state as well, if that makes any sense to you. So that's the beauty of yoga. Two things can be true at once. You're working and you're resting. It's amazing. All right, let's release from deer. So go ahead and bring your leg back. Take your hands to the earth. We're coming into downward facing dog. So release back, pedal it out. Okay, right knee or left knee, bend and straighten. Get all that blood flow back into all of your joints. So good and healthy for your joints. So lift your left leg up. Come into that fallen triangle position where your left foot is to the outside of your right hand. See if you can straighten your left leg. It's okay if it's not. So if it's really, really bent, no problem. Just work in that direction. I want you to feel that stretch. This is your IT band that you're stretching. It's the outside, runs along the outside of your leg. It's hard to get to. And then place your shin on the floor. And then walk your back toes back. Keep your toes tucked under, and then take your hands either to the floor or your leg, and then press. So you're using your arms, you're utilizing them to assist you into this back bend. So lift through the crown of your head, maybe lift your chin. Okay, if you want to add the high power strength part of it, you're gonna lift your arms up. Lift your arms up, woo, this side way harder. Okay, you're building all this strength down in your QLs, opening up your hips. And then for the shoulder opener, Yoga Mudra behind your back. You can stay upright, press back, 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 back. Bend your right leg, and then take hold of it with your right hand if it's accessible. This is just bonus quad stretch. So if you want to play around with the quad stretch, take this opportunity. And then we're eventually, as of right now, moving into sleeping pigeon. So if you have hold of your foot, just release it. Come on down to the pillow of your hands. A couple breaths here. And then we'll move into deer. And for deer, come up onto your hands, just like kind of tweaking our hip stretch here. So keep your shin where, your left shin where it is, bring your right shin parallel to the side of your mat. Okay, a little awkward here in the hips. That's all right, that's how it's supposed to feel, because we just don't get into this position in our daily life. Again, sit upright, twist, lay down, or lean forward. Don't lay down on your back, probably. So when I'm in these poses that we're holding, I like to kind of move around in them. Again, just listening. What does my body need? Oh, it kind of feels like it needs a twist. No, it needs to relax. Be the deer. Silent, steady, alert, ready for action, but calm. Alrighty. Let's meet back in downward facing dog. So stretch that leg back, plant your hands, and then move around in downward facing dog. I like this little stretch in downward facing dog. If you want to do it with me, lift both heels really, really, really high. Bend your legs a little bit. Place both heels to the right and then press your hips back. You should feel a huge stretch on your left side body, the side of your body. Come back to center. Okay, bend your knees a little bit and then place your heels to the left and then press back. Oh my gosh, I love this stretch. Okay, and come back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your feet. And then slow roll up to stand. We're going to end our standing practice the way we began. We visualized a tree. Now we're going to be the tree. So be the tree. Stand on your right foot and then balance here with your left foot either on the floor, calf, inner thigh, hands at heart, extended, clasped in a mudra, maybe Ganesh if you want to try Ganesh again. Imagine your obstacle and then release whatever feels quite right here in this moment. Are you here in your body? Your roots firmly planted in the ground, this foundation that you've built and continue to build. The lift of your arms, the lift of the top of your head. Even when the wind blows you, you've got your firm footing here. Let's switch sides. Balance on your left foot. Again, any arm variation is welcome. Rest like a tree. Tadasana. Rise up to tall mountain, reaching your arms up overhead. And let's blossom open again. Opening your heart. Lift up tall mountain. Standing forward, fold. Halfway lift, walk forward. High plank, lower down. Extend your right arm to the right. Roll in the direction of your right arm as you lift your left leg up and over. Plant your foot on the ground. Feel that beautiful stretch in your right shoulder. Roll back to center. And switch sides. Extend your left arm to the left. Up and over with that right foot. Rest your foot on the ground. And then come back to center. Press back to child's pose. You're going to bring your knees a little bit wider. Press back to child's pose. Let's take one full breath in Balasana. Inhale, low belly, ribs, lungs. Release, lungs, chest, shoulders, ribs, belly. Walk your hands back toward your knees. And then cross your feet and come to a seat. I'm going to take a moment and give thanks for my animal, who's right here next to me, Rindo. We love our animals. I love my dog. Come down onto your back. We're going to take a supine twist. So keep your legs bent. And let's just windshield wiper real quick. So you can have your arms like 90 degrees and then just rock your knees side to side. Rendo's doing whatever she's doing over there. Next time your knees come to the right, go ahead and release into a twist. So you can keep your legs just like this. It's not my favorite twist position. I like to bring my knees a little bit closer in and stack them. It's up to you though. So it just depends on what area you're targeting in your twist. Come back through center, twist to the left. Center, openness, knees to chest pose. You can bring your knees in, wrap your arms around your legs, See if you can keep your toes, your heels, and your knees side by side. And keep your spine long and flat to the floor. This might not be happening right now, but that's the objective. So take your tailbone and press it toward the floor as you pull your knees in. So obviously a great hip compression, but a spine lengthener as well. And then from here, bring your forehead toward your knees, just in an act of self-love and gratitude, hugging in, making connection with your forehead and your knees if possible, and then release Shavasana. Take a couple moments for the most important pose of your practice, where we integrate the work into the body. So get comfortable. It doesn't have to look a certain way. I offer these cues, but it doesn't have to look this way, just to let your feet flop open or fall open. Let your palms face up, just an act of receptivity and openness. Keep your chest open. Close your eyes, or you can just softly rest your gaze in an act of active awareness or passive awareness with your eyes closed. Let's take one final breath together. Fill up belly, ribs, lungs. Release. Release, release, release. Come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. Pay attention and just notice your face. So if you're holding any tension in your jaw, which is common, try to just relax your jaw, like separating your teeth, letting your tongue be soft. And then pay attention to your forehead, another place we hold a ton of tension, eye strain, etc. Just see if you can relax your whole forehead and your eyes. Then just notice the weight of your head, your heavy, heavy head, resting softly on the ground, supported by the earth. If you have the time and the space to continue in this most powerful pose, Shavasana, please do so. If you'd like to join me for a formal closing, you can make your way up to a seated position. Take it nice and slow, moving from outer to inner, moving your fingers, wiggling your toes, rolling your wrists, rolling your ankles. Maybe working your way into a full body stretch onto your side. Then you can press your way up to seated when you're ready. Once you're in seated, returning to where we began, find that nice, long, tall spine. Connect your hands in Anjali Mudra at heart center, palms pressing together. With your eyes open or closed, bring your breath fully into your belly, ribs, lungs. Lift, hold, pause, and then steady open mouth exhale. To third eye center. Today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and peace